Hello all. I just got back from a walk and I had a lot come to me, and I felt very compelled to unpack But God, the Brandon Lake song. I felt very called to. And to my understanding, if my memory serves me correctly, I believe that he performed at Charlie Kirk's memorable, extravaganza with all the lights and fireworks and the whole nine yards. I believe if my memory serves me correctly, he performed there. Imagine that. What a beautiful thing. So this song really speaks to me. Okay, I started saying the slogan, But God, months ago. And again, I'm not saying near here nor there. It seems convenient. It came shortly after, but hey, whatever. It's all good in the hood, brother. Here's what is contradictive in it. All right. Typically speaking, when people sing songs, they relate to their story, right? That's a freedom of speech. Like when it comes to Megan Thee Stallion, Eminem, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, all these rappers, even like, for example, Jeremy Camp, you listen to his songs, and Mercy Me, a lot of the songs that most people write, it's based off stories and testimonies of their own. And so I was really, really interested to understand, because it says in the song, I was pulling overtime in prison, sending prayers up when nobody else would listen but God, and I was still be high in my addiction. And I tried to fact check that, and from what my understanding is, I couldn't find any credible evidence that Brandon Lake served time in prison and battled publicly documented addiction to the degree of incarceration. So, new news to me. Brandon Lake is an American Christian worship musician born June 21st, 1990. His 2022 titled Help is designed around themes of mental health, reflection, and vulnerability. There's no reliable sources that show he was in prison with drug or alcohol matters, or that he's publicly admitted to this major addiction story of that kind. So that's interesting. Where'd that come from, bro? I would still be dying for a living. I would still be sick with no physician, about to give up. Doctor told me it was finished, but God pulled me out of the grave, broke my chains. Who else can you say? Kill me on Friday, rise on Sunday. First of all, you rise every day. You don't just have to rise on Sunday. For all my lovers, all my little religious people out there, you rise every day, baby. Every minute of the day, you rise every day, not just on a Sunday. And so another thing that really spoke to me in this song was, so who else is going to praise but God? Man, I think the devil is a mailman. Really? Now the devil has become a mailman. This is where it gets interesting. Serves papers like I'm late on a payment. Ain't nobody tell him it's already paid, man. I'm already saved, man. Thought he had a claim, but God. Bet death thought he had him on a Friday. And I'm like, that's interesting concept. So now we've gone ahead and sliced over and considered the mailman God, the mailman the devil, because he's serving late papers. But last I checked, who handles the serving of late papers? Our system, our government controls those types of situations. So instead of taking the accountability in the rapture that we are in now based off the economy that we have been so graciously placed in because of our leaders, the leaders are the ones that control the serving of the papers. They control it, not the mailman. So if you want to go ahead, let's just, instead of saying the mailman, let's say it like this. Man, I think the devil is our leaders, our government leaders. Serving papers like I'm late on a payment. Ain't nobody tell him it's already been paid. Man, I'm already saved. Man, gone up on a Friday. Come on, man. Like, seriously. I'm sorry, bro. Like, this is ridiculous. Y'all gotta see the glass behind the veil, man. The devil is a mailman line. Man, I think the devil is a mailman, serving papers like I'm late up on a payment. Mailman brings bad news, summons, and bills you owe. Mailman, exactly. Who controls the mailman? The mailman doesn't The mailman is not the one that files the documents. The mailman doesn't do that. The mailman doesn't do the summons or the bills. That would be the corporations and the businesses. I mean, come on now. This is ridiculous. The papers are spiritual debt notices reminding of guilt, shame, and consequences of sin. Agreed. Agreed. Brandon Lakes uses humor and irony. The devil acts like a debt collector, but the debt's already been paid by Christ's sacrifice. Amen. Why it sounds contradictory. The devil is pictured doing a legitimate job. Exactly. Delivering mail. He is serving false notices. The contradiction highlights deception. They're literally like taking a song, misusing the words, and pouring it out to us, and we're just like sucking it up. And they're literally telling on themselves. Straight up. Satan imitates lawful authority to accuse people, but his claims have no jurisdiction once grace has covered by debt. The resolution in the lyric, ain't nobody tell him it's already been paid. I'm already saved. Ain't nobody told them? I know they know now. Here the singer cancels the contradiction. He acknowledges the accusation, but reminds both himself and the listener that divine justice has already been sacrificed. This transforms the devil's legal paper into spam mail, still delivered but invalid. If you read it symbolically, devil man, false authority demanding, already paid, grace, redemption, truth, and justice. So the contradiction works a purpose. What looks like powerful, the mailman, is actually fraud. Exactly. I would agree. The mailman is a fraud, just like our government is a fraud. I would agree. When I heard this song and I actually listened to the words, I was like, really? You're literally telling on yourself. Evil often disguises itself in due process and obligation. I would agree. I got all the filings to prove it. Divine truth exposes counterfeit claims. Couldn't agree more. In other words, the lyric isn't just teaching the devil is government. It's teaching that any power claiming a debt or control after freedom has been declared is acting in a devil's role. The song celebrates the grace and nullifies those claims, but God. I couldn't agree more, but it's like, this is just the irony of the things of how they take advantage of certain things, and then they go ahead and pour out and populate different items and songs and stuff like this to indicate psychological warfare, the misuse of God, the misuse of his word, and the misuse of religion and the weaponization of it. You know what I mean? And again, agree to disagree on this. Okay, I'm entitled to my opinions, you're entitled to yours. And then furthermore, I just find it ironic, like, those are really bold lyrics. Where did they come from? You know, obviously, I guess you didn't write this song. You were just the singer, I'm assuming. I'd imagine. Because if you did... Hold on. We're going to find out right now. Because that would be really quite telling. Yes. Okay. Yes, the song But God is credited to Brandon Lake as a writer, along with Benjamin Williams Hastings and Micah Nicholas. My previous boss was named Benjamin. What are the odds? Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So, interesting. So you went to prison and you carried major addictions. That's odd that none of it's been accredited, and you've not admitted to any of it outside of this song. Make it make sense, bro. You know? I didn't know that we now write songs that we have no reality to. I mean, if you were in prison and you battled addictions, I give you grace and glory for you owning it like that. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So where'd you get those nuggets from, Brandon? Where did you get them from? Just asking for a friend. I love you guys. Have a great day. I got to work at my second job today. And again, spicy video, but I felt compelled. Like, no, the devil ain't the mailman. It's far bigger than that. Now, they may want to place their activities on the mailman serving the papers, but no, it's the man up top. Let's just be honest here. That's the truth. Sorry. Hate to break it to ya.